currently at a stage where I'm not keen on starting the car at all. It's not even climbing at all.
Ouch.
Shannon is leading the great team on 5 cabin crew.
Once we get going, a flight time of about 55 minutes up to...
Well, hey guys, it's Joel. Welcome back to the channel. And as you can see, I'm not in my usual surroundings. I am on an aeroplane. Last week we bought a Chrysler Crossfire and we took a train to Enfield to go and find that. But things have escalated in just a week, believe it or not. I've not learned from my mistakes. And yeah, we're on an aeroplane this time. For some reason, over the last few weeks, I've just been getting offered so many incredible opportunities by you guys, my viewers, and today is no different. Now, when I sold my Maserati Quattroporte a few weeks back, I was sort of done with the Maserati thing. I hadn't really got any plans to get another Maserati to replace the Quattroporte. The only other Maserati I'd really be interested in is maybe a later Gran Turismo and then a MC12, but I mean, I'm never going to be able to buy one of those. However, I have been offered an extremely cheap, very cheap, Maserati 4200 Cambio Corsa. It's currently at a specialist in Edinburgh because, of course, it's me buying the car. It's got some pretty major issues, but today I'm hopefully going to buy the car. I've only booked a one-way flight, and then I'm going to attempt to drive it home. This could be interesting. It's definitely stupid, but I suppose you'd expect nothing less watching this channel. So maybe by the end of this video, I will somehow unexpectedly have another Maserati, but let's see how it goes. We've got about 10 minutes to go on this flight. Then we're going to land in Edinburgh, get a taxi over to this supercar specialist where the Maserati 4200 is waiting for me, and hopefully this isn't a really stupid mistake. I mean, it is. It's a stupid mistake. I've treated myself to business class because I feel like this is the way I can sort of make myself feel better about already making a stupid financial decision. So here goes nothing.
What a very warm welcome to Edinburgh. By the time here, the bridge is past 1 in the afternoon. Please remain seated with your seatbelts kept fastened until the current seatbelt sign have been switched off.
Okay, everyone, so we made it to Edinburgh and we are joined now by Paul at the Supercar Tech, where my, well, broken 4200 is awaiting me behind sacred doors over there. Thank you so much, Paul, for seeing me today.
No problem at all. I've opened this business 2 years ago as a Ferrari Maserati specialist, basically doing supercar service and repair. A customer was in touch with me with a recent purchase of a Maserati 4200, and it was basically just going for a check over, general condition check. And on initial start, I found that the oil pressure was taking a bit of time to build up to where it should be. Further checks found that the oil pump was on its way out, and it's currently at a stage where I'm not keen on starting the car at all due to the low pressure. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happens with that.
Yeah, and I've come here today saying that I want to try and drive it the 400 miles back from Edinburgh to my home in Surrey.
Yeah.
And you've said you don't even want to start it.
No chance, no.
So I will say, Matteo, the owner, is very excited and keen for me to actually try and drive it.
Yeah.
So sort of got two optimists on one side and then
Yeah.
the realist, which is the professional.
That's it.
Here. So do you think we can go and have a look at the car?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I'll take you over just now.
Okay, so this is the 4200 then, just outside here behind the Supercar Tech in Edinburgh. And, well, it looks in pretty nice condition in terms of the exterior.
Yeah, in general it's all right. So the bit of paintwork on the right-hand rear quarter, but other than that, it's in pretty good nick.
And the owner of this car, he did tell me that he bought this based on my experience with my Quattroporte, buying it really cheap. So I sort of feel quite bad because he sort of thought he would take the same sort of risk, and then he found out that it potentially isn't quite as favourable for him. So yeah, he's offered me to take the car basically, and it's going to be very interesting to see firstly how she starts, and then, I mean, we can think about trying to drive it back to England later. So yes, as Paul said, this is it, a 4200 that Mattia, my subscriber, did buy, hoping for a similar outcome to my Quattroporte. Not that my Quattroporte was the best outcome, but at least I could use it and enjoy it for a few months before having to spend any money whatsoever. But it looks really, really lovely. So Mattia did buy the car He drove it home quite a few hundred miles without any issues, and obviously brought it here for an inspection to where they found some issues with oil pressure. And so Paul thinks that the oil pump is very much on its last legs or out already, and that is not the cheapest of fixes. So you say that it's been sat here about a week since you inspected it?
About a week and a half. Pushed it out here due to the oil pressure, and it's not moved since.
So this is going to be quite interesting then, isn't it? All right, so we're going to go for a start, and yeah, that oil pressure Paul just told me on the left there, that's meant to ping right up to the right hand side to 5 bar on a start. We can see what it does, if anything, now. Yeah, so that pressure's not even building at all, is it?
It's not even climbing at all.
Wow.
So it should be straight up to 5 bar in cold start.
Ouch. So it does sound good, but yeah, it looks a little bit like that oil pump is definitely not working and not pumping anything through, which is a big problem.
And just like that, I'm back in England in my Cayenne, which can only mean one thing. I didn't drive home in the Maserati. Let me just explain a little better for you for those that didn't quite get it in the video. So my subscriber Matea bought this Maserati 4200 off the back of seeing my videos with the Quattroporte, where I bought a very cheap Quattroporte and didn't have too much trouble with it. He bought the car down south, I think near London, and then drove it the 300 miles or so back to Edinburgh where he lives, and didn't really have any issues at all. It was fine. But he did what I would always do and take it to a specialist for an inspection after he'd bought it, and that's where Paul at the Supercar Tech then found some issues with the oil pressure. So because the car made it back on Matea's drive to Scotland, he and we thought potentially it was worth me flying up and driving it home straight to Ash at Exotic and Supercar, because we thought it would probably be capable of just at least finishing that distance. However, when I arrived and had a good conversation with Paul and then asked him to start up the car to show me the oil pressure issue, and it didn't even leave 0 bar on the needle, you saw it in the car, I just made the call there and then that actually there's just no chance it's going to make it home, just like what Paul said. Paul was pretty adamant even before I flew up to Edinburgh that it wasn't going to be the best idea to attempt to drive the Maserati home. In fact, it would probably be impossible, and he was absolutely right. However, that very large part of my brain, which is the stupid part of my brain, was still saying, hey, maybe I should just give it a go and just drive it. But very quickly, it just was obvious that it was a bad idea. And look at the car. I mean, the engine bay is absolutely immaculate. The bodywork is lovely. The interior is in fantastic condition. It would be completely pointless, and I would say actually disrespectful, to try and drive that car against everyone's advice back to the UK and then for something to go catastrophically wrong and for it to just be a shell. It just wasn't a good idea. So it was no problem. I booked a flight home. I went home, and right now, as we speak, the Maserati is being trailered down to Southampton where Ash is at Exotic and Supercar. However, because of how close we are now to the holiday season, it will probably need to wait until New Year before I can go down and have a proper look at the 4200 at Exotic and Supercar. So you probably know already that the oil pump job is not a cheap one. The oil pump itself is not the most expensive part, at around £1,500 to £2,000, something like that, but it's the labour that's the real biggie on this one. It can be upwards of £2,500 in labour, because I mean the engine pretty much has to come out to be able to change it, and then you might find other things whilst you're in there. But based on what I paid for this car, it could still work out for me to be a good decision. Even with having to get it trailered down and my little jaunt up to Edinburgh last week, I think this still could work out in my man maths brain at least. So if you want to know exactly what I paid for the Maserati 4200 and you want to see what happens with it next, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and as soon as possible I'm going to go down to Ash at Exotic and Supercar and take a look at the 4200, and I want to get it repaired so that I can drive it and enjoy it. The unexpected Maserati. So let me just say a huge thank you to Mattia, my subscriber, for offering me this 4200. I will just say on camera, I met him last week. He's an absolute legend, and in fact, because this 4200 hasn't quite worked out for him, he bought himself a 2006 Maserati Grand Sport in this gorgeous blue, which he let me drive back to Edinburgh Airport when I had to fly home, and that was wonderful. So thank you, Mattia. Huge thank you to Paul up in Edinburgh at the Supercar Tech as well. absolutely incredible guy, lovely, lovely gentleman to deal with, and he is arranging for it all to be delivered today as we speak. And so thank you so much to Paul up there. Thank you all so much for watching. Sorry there can't be more of an update on the Maserati today, but you will be pleased to know that coming on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, I have a big Christmas special this year, which I know you're all going to enjoy. It's the most expensive video I've ever had to make, and I bought 3 cars for it. So do subscribe and stay tuned for that. And I'll see you all in the next one on Christmas Day very, very soon.